This is an out west production. A number of you have asked me to go in a little more detail about how I do my eyes. So I thought as I showed you this figure in that first video of that last series I did, I'd do that. Carve his eyes. So if the camera will zoom in on him here. If you remember last time, I showed you this figure I'd already drawn in his eyes. So that's what we're going to work on. When you're doing eyes, even if you're doing a caricature carving, you still have to remember human anatomy. And I think that's where most people go wrong when they try to do eyes, or really any other type of human feature. So let's just review this for a little bit. Remember that even though it's a caricature, it's based on something. And in this case, it's based on a skull. Now, a human skull has two large openings. Here, actually they're bigger than that, probably about like that there. And within these openings, the eyeball sits. And over that whole thing is skin. So the skin is just laying on top of those eyes. Now when we start carving, we do it sort of the opposite direction that a sculptor does. A sculptor, one who does realistic sculptures, actually dresses his figure. He first constructs the anatomy, and then he puts clothes on it. Well, we can't do that, so we have to work in reverse. So anyway, remembering that we have an eye, when you go to do the details on an eye is not shaped like this. That's the way a lot of people do their eyes. It's not like that. Here's the eyeball again. It's like this. And when we do it that way, we have to remember that in here, there's a ball. Now on our figure, it's the same way. Although this is flat here, we have to remember that there's a ball in there. Okay? It's very important to remember that. If you remember that, you're not going to have any problem with your eyes. So let's go ahead and start and see if we can carve these. If you can remember in the first video, the first thing we did was to take out a little notch right there. Okay? So let's do that now. Now remember, although I said the eye is a ball, these eyes aren't really going to be a ball. They're kind of misshapen. Because remember, this is a caricature carving. So anyway, I carve down deep in that corner and I take out that chip. There, see? Taking out that chip. Now, starting here, I'll leave that up here, this part right here alone, because that's the high point. I start right there, and I'll carve down at a slant. There. And then I'll take out that chip. Through the wonders of video editing and my flap sander, we've completed this fella. I've gone ahead and carved his other eye. And he's looking pretty good. Kind of a gristled looking guy. He looks like he's upset about something. I don't know what, but something's PO'd him, that's for sure. So anyway, I hope this has helped you. See if I can get in there on those eyes just a little better so you can see what was going on. Just a few simple steps to remember. When you carve an eyes, just take your time and remember that underneath that surface there are things going on. To become good at what you're doing, you have to take into consideration everything, not only the things on the surface, but sometimes what lies beneath too. So again, I hope you had fun following along with me, and hopefully you picked up a few pointers. So until next time, be careful, wear your glove, and don't cut yourself. This has been an Out West production.